Hey, welcome back to another of the 15 days of videos. So today we're going to focus on my 52 weeks journal. And this particular week is going to be the Pieces of Me from Allie Edwards' Pieces of Me activity that she did earlier in April. And for this, you do different selfies or pictures of yourself throughout the week. So feet, hands, face forward, eyes closed, half face, full body, and reflection. And if you want to pause the video and read my journaling, feel free to do that. But basically, what I am doing is using my traveler's notebook again. You saw this earlier in one of my videos about Easter. And on the left side, I am putting week 16 and the journaling. And then on the right side, I'm going to use a technique that I saw in the product play for December Daily to make a flip up. And that flip up is going to be of all of the pictures I took for this activity. And there's a lot of information about how to do the flip up, and I'm going to kind of try to talk you through it. But I'm going to link to the product play course, and I highly recommend that if you haven't done this, you go ahead and do that. Because as good as my explanation is, Amy Gretchen is so much better. And I think you'll get a lot more out of watching and listening to her do it. But big picture is you need to take and get all your pictures, and the key is this T-bar piece of paper. So the big end needs to have flaps that you're going to use to pull through the flip up mechanism. And I'll show you that again in a little bit. But the key is to lay your photos out in the sections that you want to be next to each other. So what you're seeing here is for my page, it is the section, so the top of the page and the bottom page, the top, the bottom, the top, the bottom, top, bottom. And that's how they're going to be. And then you're going to watch me lay them out so that they flip correctly. And that's really the key, is to make sure you understand which direction each of your pieces are. Now, what I'm doing right now is I took the Pieces of Me JPEG that was available as a free download on Allie Edwards' blog, and I cut it on my Cricut 3 times. And I am combining those to make kind of a thicker chipboardy piece with cardstock. It's just a trick that you can do to make your kind of your pieces stick up a little bit more. I'm using a Nuvo glue pen. It is very, very sticky. So you're seeing like parts of the black cardstock are actually coming off on my hand. But that's another trick I do, is just, using 3 or 4 pieces of cardstock and putting those together. Now, the cool thing is, and one of the things I've done before is if you use like a colored cardstock for like the bottom 2 or 3 pieces, and then you top it with a white or a black, it kind of gives you the impression of the thickers that have like the core is a different color. So another way you can do that just with cardstock and with a cut file. So think about that just kind of as a cool way to utilize your scrap paper or your pieces. So I've got the Pieces of Me, and this is going to be the title of my flip up. And that's going to be the main card. So I cut all of the white paper and this paper to 4x4 squares. So the base of my flip up is going to be 4x4 squares. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 4x4 sections. And we're going to take them and make sure we attach the pictures the right direction on these 4x4 squares. I also took little labels. You're seeing the labels down there, and I labeled the different dates and what they were, so they can be seen with the journaling on the other side. So if you read my journaling, the end of my kind of reflection was life looks like this, and I'm glad my life looks like this. And I found this card kind of after I had done that journaling that said regular life looks like this, and I thought that's just perfect, because that's kind of the idea of Pieces of Me, is to kind of document your regular life. So you saw me flip that up to make sure it's the right direction, and now I'm going to put on the back of where the feet were the hands, and I'm flipping it to make sure it's going the right way. And now I'm going to go ahead and attach these two together so that I don't accidentally forget that they're supposed to be attached. So the idea is you're actually just going to have, one piece of paper with something on the back and the front, and that's how it flips. You can do this by, backing two pieces of cards if you do that. I just used one cardstock for the white and just put something on both sides. So every time I'm kind of building the flip book. So I'm saying, okay, the hands are on the top, so the face goes, on this piece, and then I'm going to flip it over, and I'm going to put the half face on the next piece. So it's just kind of a process of understanding, how you build the flip book, and if you build it easily. So here we go, eyes closed. And then, of course, I ran out of ATG in the middle of all this. And I don't make you watch me replace my ATG. So there's my eyes closed. And now I'm going to build this one. And so half face goes on the bottom. And then you're just watching me do this. And like I said, Amy Gretchen goes through a lot better of explaining how to do it. But you're just building the card so that they can flip. It's not difficult. You just need to make sure you do it correctly. So for full body, I actually had two pictures that I'm using. And then for reflections, I had two pictures that I'm using. So most of them I just used one picture. For those two, I used two pictures. I really liked this reflection of me looking in my glasses that are mirrored and then seeing the reflection of me taking a picture of myself in my phone. I just thought that was really cool, so I used that one. And this is the last one, and that's just a reflection of me in the mirror. So that is all of them. So now you need to actually build it. So the key is you need to have the same number of scores as you do cards. So that's one of the reasons why I stopped scoring earlier is I didn't know exactly how it was going to line up. So I needed to make sure I had the right scores. And you score an eighth of an inch apart on that board, and you want the first score to be approximately the same height as the card you're going to do. So I started the score at 4 inches, which is the height of my first card, and then I did 5 score marks, and now I'm accordion folding that. So now if you'll see, the little tabs are going to be the part that sticks to the page, and the big long piece is what's going to fold up and down to make the accordion. So you see how I did that? Now, you stick your last card, so for me it's the back card, right there at the line of your first fold. The second key to getting this right is this 1/8 inch score tape. You need skinny score tape, and I think I said 1/8 inches before. I think the score lines are a 1/4 inch apart. You need this skinny score tape. I tried to do it without it. It just doesn't work as well. So the skinny score tape fits right in the middle of those score lines. It works perfectly. You can just pull it out. So now you're going to attach the bottom side of the card right to that score line, and you're just going to do that for each of them right in the row. So, but watch how I do this. So I know that needs to be the part that sticks up. So I'm going to flip it over, stick it down. We'll do it one more time. Pull out the score tape. That's the part that sticks up. Flip it over, stick it down right at the edge. And it's just, you just have to really think about which way you're sticking it down. That's the part that flips up, flip it over, stick it down. Same thing. And then you're going to end with your title. And then when you put it down and you attach it by those little pieces of tabs, it's going to accordion fold. Now, the next thing that's important is whatever you stick, so the only thing that's holding this whole set of pictures down is these little tabs. So I use my red line tape. It's the best tape I have. It's the strongest tape I have. You need something that's really going to stick. You also really should do, the best quality, thickest cardstock you have for this so that it's sturdy. I've seen people do really thicker tabs, but there you go. So see, you pull it down and it works. So the last thing that I want to do is add something to remind myself that that's where you pull. I have the this right here stamp set from Stamping Up, and I absolutely love the stamp set. It has a collection of arrows. It has just some fun things. I'm using the Twilight because it matches. I'm using Bloom Street as my base paper and has that really cool teal blue. And it just says this right there with the arrow. But the this right here stamp set from Stamping Up, it has a really cool collection of arrows. So if you're looking at not Stamping Up, from Close to My Heart, if you're looking for a cool collection of arrows, that Close to My Heart set is one of the ones I've loved the most. So there it is in my page kit, just all ready to, or in my 52 weeks journal. It's all together, and I am real excited about this. It's pretty simple for a embellishments, but it has all of these pictures and all of these stories, and like I said, go watch Amy Gretchen if you want a better detail. But hopefully you kind of got the gist of how to do that. Here's kind of the close-up of what it looks like. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're enjoying these 15 days of videos. Bye-bye.